Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition. Eso es entrega, another exciting edition of the show with no name. So get ready for liftoff.
T-minus 10.
Come
9,
on.
8,
7,
6,
5, 4. Come on, you know the
3,
rest.
2, 1.
Let's get going.
0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
We got this. Come on. Come on, mofo.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats.
Get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio. Radio. Let's go. Welcome, amigos. Welcome to another exciting edition of the show with no name. That's for you, show with no namers. For your constant energy, your oomph, esa energía, esa chispa. The secret ingredient in everything, a little bit of passion and a little bit of care. Tender loving care, as we call it, TLC. It's not only a group from the 90s, a girl group. Don't go chasing waterfalls. But we can learn from their name, tender loving care, el toque de cariño, that I think makes every program here on Vaughn Radio unique. One of a kind, just like you folks. We do a lot of challenges here on the show, and we always get a wide range of answers. That's awesome. It shows me just with your participation how unique, how creative you guys are. So keep it up. Because, creativity, too. You got to put a little bit of that into everything. Even a business meeting or a business deal. Get creative. Why not? My motto, mi eslogan, always be creating. ABC, baby. Siempre creando cosas. Well, feels good. Even if you're just drawing a picture with your daughter, you're creating. And it makes you feel alive. So welcome, amigos. I hope you're ready for all the challenges and fun that lie ahead. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's kick things off with our first challenge, our Say What soundbite. Say what? All right, folks. Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. What can I tell you about today's Say What soundbite? Well, I don't think you'll recognize the voice. I think you should be able to follow along, though. I can give you a little clue. Not that it matters, but this person was more well-known for the music that they created more than speaking. So it's not an actor. A musician? Perhaps. And speaking of speaking, let me remind you, we have our question of the week this week. What season best fits your personality? You can explain that in a 1-minute audio. Keep it at around a minute-ish, alrededor del ish. Introduce yourself. Hi, it's Chris. Hi, it's fill in the blank, your name here. And tell us what season best fits your personality. You can do that before Friday every week, and you can participate in our question of the week. It's just a chance for you to speak every week and for me to give you feedback based on the way you speak. And those of you who have participated many, many times, you know who you are. You can tell. Se nota. You can tell because you might make a mistake here or there, but your confidence is rock hard. Yeah. Unstoppable. And I've seen it, believe me. The best communicators I've ever met, they weren't too worried about grammar. Yeah. I remember I was talking to a guy. He was from Venezuela. And his English was, I mean, let's put it this way. He made every mistake in the book. But you know what? He didn't give a fuck. He didn't care. He's like, he was like trying to get his point across. Now, I'm sure a couple classes at Vaughn or maybe one of our Vaughn materials would set this guy off in the right direction. But again, the point, el grano a lo que voy, this guy, even though he was butchering the language, dándole patadas al diccionario, I understood him, and it didn't stop him from getting his point across. I knew when he was angry, not at me, when he was telling a story. I knew when he was trying to be funny. Like, I could get it from his tone, and he committed to it. Se comprometió. I'm going to say this. And if I say it wrong, I say it wrong. So that goes a long way. Eso da para muchísimo. Don't underestimate the power of saying, fuck it. No perdemos nada aquí. Let's go. Let's try and say it. And if I make a mistake, well, I'll know instantly. Usually you can tell by the look on the other person's face, right? They're looking at you like, huh? Whoa. They have that lost look. All right. Well, I hope you won't have that look after hearing today's Say What soundbite. Here it is for the first time.
I want to be a force for good. You know, I want to be a force for real good. In other words, I know that there are bad forces. You know, I know that there are forces out here which bring suffering to others and misery to the world. But I want to be the opposite.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. You're chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como un pato.
Eso es, no es lo mismo que sip.
Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it. That's right, folks. You can pick up This Book is the Shit and all my other books. That's a total of 5 books that I have penned, and there are many other amazing materials, such as the one we're going to look at in today's Pop Quiz. Pop quiz, 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 quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, folks. It is our pop quiz, and today we are taking a look at something from my buddy Kyle Miller's book, and it's called Business English. I think really this is definitely indispensable for anybody who is learning English, and it really is a complete guide from A to Z, de la A a la Zeta. Kyle covers it all from marketing, finance, accounting, doing business, getting the job, anything you'll need to do, networking, which is really, really important as well. And you can pick this book up for under 20 bucks. Menos de 20 pavos, $19.95. It's available at vaughntienda.com, again, where you can pick up my books and many other books. We even have complete courses for self-study that you can pick up over at vaughntienda.com. So remember, I think the best way to know what's going on when we have new books, new initiatives, new courses, upcoming events, follow us on social media. And speaking of upcoming events, don't forget to mark your calendars. We're all going to be there on October 7th. That's 2025 at 8 p.m. And we're going to be celebrating the first Vaughn Radio Trivia Night after the summer break. And it's going to be hosted by Newbie. Now, she's not a newbie on the radio. She's been on the radio for quite some time now, but she is a newbie, right? Or noob. This is novata as far as hosting the pub quiz or trivia night. We also call them pub quizzes in the United States, and they're very popular in England as well. So we decided to bring this initiative to Madrid, and it's an opportunity to get together, to share, to laugh, to play, and make friends. And if you're available and you're in Madrid on the 7th of October, again, October 7th, 2025, just in case they repeat this, and it's at 8 p.m., hosted by Jules Linares, who is the host of Let's Get Random. Now, we're also looking at Business English, as I said, which is by another radio presenter, Kyle Miller, and you can catch him every day on his program, Drive Time. So lots of great programs, lots of great initiatives, and we mean business. Vamos en serio. So as always in our pop quiz, I want you to listen carefully and see what you can extract from this audio. And afterwards, I will have a couple questions for you. You can bet on that.
Insurance translation list 2.
A lo mejor podrías utilizar un árbitro.
Maybe you could use an arbitrator.
Trabajamos como una mutua de seguros.
We operate as a mutual insurance company.
Los tomadores de las pólizas eligieron a nuestro consejo de administración.
Policyholders elected our board of directors.
El huracán ha costado miles de millones de dólares a los reaseguradores.
The hurricane has cost reassurers billions of dollars.
No lo vieron venir.
They didn't see it coming.
Creo que ella va a ser una comercial de primera clase.
I think she's going to be a top-notch salesperson.
Enviemos un perito.
Let's send in the adjuster.
¿Trabajan a comisión?
Do they work on commission?
¿Tienen un periodo de gracia en caso de que no paguen sus primas?
Do they have a grace period if they don't pay their premiums?
Creo que deberíamos darles 2 semanas antes de que la póliza se cancele.
I think we should give them 2 weeks before the policy lapses.
¿Firmaste la declaración?
Did you sign the declaration?
Ella quiere saber si firmaste la declaración.
She wants to know if you signed the declaration.
¿Puedes hacerme una cotización?
Can you give me a quote?
Quizá una empresa de construcción con experiencia podría darte una estimación.
Maybe an experienced contractor could give you an estimate.
Tus primas se reducirían si instalas una alarma antirrobo.
Your premiums would be reduced if you installed a burglar alarm.
¿Puedo pagar la prima por Internet?
Can I pay the premium on the internet?
Han estado negociando con una aseguradora extranjera.
They've been dealing with a foreign insurer.
Ella solicitó una ampliación de la póliza.
She's asked for a policy extension.
¿No me pueden reembolsar los gastos médicos?
Can't I be reimbursed for medical expenses?
Necesitarás coberturas de indemnización profesional.
You'll need professional indemnity coverage.
¿Te acuerdas dónde pusimos su póliza? De ellos.
Do you remember where we put their policy?
Ella ha estado asegurada desde el 16 de julio de 1996.
She has been insured as of July 16th, 1996.
Ella ha pagado todas las primas desde entonces.
She's paid all her premiums since then.
Estaríamos en un verdadero lío sin nuestra póliza.
We'd be in a real mess without our policy.
¿Quién es el tomador del seguro?
Who's the policyholder?
First things first, how you machines doing? You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Good. Let's take a picture. Quick question. ¿Cómo se dice emocionar en inglés?
To emotionate.
No. Think of Michael Jackson.
Hmm?
Una pista de audio. It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark.
It's Thriller.
That's right. So emocionar is to
Thrill.
eso es. And this book is the shit will thrill you. It's thrilling.
Sí, señor. This book is the shit. El inglés que no sabías que sabías. 1000 nuevas palabras para tu colección. De la mano de Alberto Alonso.
Y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
Now we're talking. That's right, amigos. This book is the shit. It is part of the trilogy, and you can pick it up at vontienda.com or wherever fine books are sold. All right, let's go on over here to the questions I've got for you on the pop quiz. Now, some really good vocabulary, and I think it's, vocabulary that everybody needs to know, right? If you drive a car, it's mandatory, obligatorio, right? You need insurance, right? At least the basic coverage. I think you say a terceros, basic coverage. But whether it's car insurance or life insurance or well, it's an important thing, because then you are covered. You have coverage. You say the same thing, cobertura. Just be careful. You'll hear some Americans that say insurance. So it's weird. I say insurance, but I've heard some people say insurance. So it's a weird one. But the verb is to insure. They said they wouldn't insure me. I was too much of a risk. They wouldn't open up a policy for me. And policy is a great word because it's used with insurance, but also policy is la política, pero más dentro de una empresa, not politics. So politics would be este partido, this party, that party. Policy is the company policy states that you must request your vacation 2 weeks in it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, es la política más las reglas, las directrices, the guidelines. So just be careful with that word because it can be a bit confusing. All right, the first thing I want you to give me in today's pop quiz, and I think we've seen this idiomatic expression numerous times, but let's see if you remember it. Lo vi venir o no lo vi venir. You can use it however you want. Use an example that makes sense to you, obviously, and this way we can see if you're using it correctly. So, lo vi venir de lejos, if you want to make it, hay una forma de decir de lejos, okay? So, ver algo venir, okay? We can use a very literal way to say it, and we can also use an idiomatic expression. We'll take a look at both when we go through your answers, okay? So the first one, lo vi venir, no lo vi venir. That's up to you. Use it however you would normally use it. Y pone lo, la cosa que no viste venir o viste venir, okay? The next one is a false friend. That's right. One of those false friends that'll throw my students off every time, sadly. So let's see if this one throws you off, te desconcierta, or if you can figure it out. Now, the word in Spanish is comercial, somebody who sells things. So you have, different departments. Well, if you have a product, you need a departamento comercial y necesitas comerciales, the people who are selling your good or your goods or your services. All right? So that's the second one. Use it in context. A lo mejor eres comercial y quieres contarlo. O no valdrías de comercial. I know some people are like, es que yo de comercial no valgo porque no me gusta venderle cosas a la gente. So, however, use it however you want. I know how I can use it. I used to work in New York in this. So, all right. And the third one, this is more specific. I want you to use this one. The other two are more free range where you can kind of use your own example. But here, I want you to ask me to firmar en la línea perforada. Is that how you say it? Let's see. Now I'm doubting in Spanish. Let's see. You say línea de puntos, línea punteada. Okay. So, ¿ves? Lo estoy aprendiendo yo en español. So how would you say necesito tu firma o firma? You can use it as a verb or a noun, whichever one you prefer. But that also, the reason I've chosen that one is it tends to confuse people a little bit between the verb and the noun. So just be careful you're not mixing those two up. All right, so the first one, ver venir o no venir algo, and you can put de lejos if you'd like, if you know it. The second one, use comercial, because remember, commercial, it's not commercial. I'll give you a clue. It's not commercial because commercial is something you see when you're watching TV, anuncios. So another false friend, as I said. And, excuse me, I've got this morning, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a little bit stuffed up. Stuffed up is con mocos. All right. And I took a hot shower. I've been getting it out for hours, but yeah, it's not working. So, but the show must go on. So sorry if you hear some like snot noises, sonidos de mocos. It's real. it's real. But the other option was to cancel the show. But since I don't have a fever or anything like that, it's just really uncomfortable. And I have to, because my throat hurts a little bit. My throat is a little bit scratchy. Me pica la garganta. And, I won't go into too much detail, especially if we're talking about snot. That's not a good idea. All right, amigos, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. The good news, we'll be right back with much more Show with No Name in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Eso es una forma de decir en un plis plas. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is part 2 of today's Show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Again, today you're going to have to bear with me a little bit. Well, you know what it is? My daughter got sick. And since I'm her walking, talking tissue, su Kleenex andante, well, I was bound, destinado. I was bound to get sick. The good thing is it's a slight cold, ligero resfriado. It's more discomfort than anything. It's what I always tell my wife. I said, well, listen, in a normal job, if you have a cold or a sore throat, well, you don't talk that much. I don't have that option. Well, today I'll just answer emails and, catch up on all that stuff. Not when you sit in front of a microphone. I don't think so. So I need all your energy today. I know I don't even have to ask for it. You guys give it to me anyway. And I thank you for that. And remember to save some energy for Rob Grams and the Pro Bow Show. Also Fitz and his program, No Excuses. You've got Ruby. You've got the Lunchtime Show. You've got Jules Linares, who's hosting our upcoming trivia night. Don't forget about Dave Boys and the Salad. After that, Kyle Miller, and we're taking a look at something from Kyle Miller's book, Business English, and our pop quiz. We're going to check your answers in just a moment. After Kyle Miller, you've got Chris freaking Frank. I thought it sounded good. Freaking Frank. Yeah, if you don't want to say fucking, you can say friggin' or frickin'. Sounds German. Well, it comes from German. Frickin'. Don't forget about Jessica Fernandez as well. And, of course, the man, the myth, the one and only, el mismísimo Richard Vaughn. All here on Vaughn Radio. All right, let's kick things off with our Say What soundbite. We're going to listen to it for the second time. And even though the vocabulary is quite easy today, this person is not really opening up their mouth too much when they speak. But again, this person represents many people who speak English. So it's better for us to adapt our ear to them than to expect that they're going to change the way they speak because we can't understand them. You catch my drift? All right, here it is for the second time.
I want to be a force for good. I want to be a force for real good. In other words, I know that there are bad forces. I know that there are forces out here which bring suffering to others and misery to the world. But I want to be the opposite.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit. That's right. This book is the shit, available at Vaughn Tienda. We've got so many amazing materials that it's hard to choose. That's why I like to expose you to all the different ones we have here in our pop quiz. And we're going to check your answers right now. I see we've got a lot of people participating. Hello. All right, Born to Iron Man checking in. He says, hiya, friends. Hey, what's going on? Born to Iron Man, welcome. There's Chris Valrol. She's checking in, and she says, morning, awesome show with no namers. She says, I heard an Afro-American man. I'd say she's referring to the Say What soundbite. Well, right. Good ear. An Afro-American man, I'd say. I could barely understand a few words. Yeah, there are some points where he just kind of mumbles a bit. But do your best, guys. The idea here, we're not looking for perfection. We're looking to improve every day. So, all right, she says he may be talking about being a force in life. And I think he mentions death. Absolutely. But not the death. Right? Death es la muerte, pero en inglés no empleamos artículo definido. So, como la vida. We don't say the life is hard. We say life is hard. Death is easier. Right? Para usar los dos in contexto. So just be careful. It's a common mistake over there. But Chris, okay, you're saying you couldn't make out some words, descifrar, but you got the main idea. So that's good. That's a great sign. Born to Iron Man says, get well soon, double A. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens because, well, just remember this. When kids are young, they bring home a lot of bacteria. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you so much. Thank you. Again, I didn't sleep that well last night. It's the typical things when you have a cold. You can't breathe as well, so you don't sleep as well. It's just more than anything, discomfort, incomodidad. And my throat is scratchy, so I'm drinking. I always drink water, but today I'm drinking double. I even had some honey, just pure honey, before the show to put a coating, una capa, on my throat so I could get through the show today. So the show must go on, and we will soldier on. Oh, toma vocabulario. To soldier on. Have you heard this one? Well, soldier, you know what that is, soldado. Soldier on is seguir, no aflojar, right? To keep going, to soldier on. Did you know that? I know you know the word soldier, but did you know it was a verb? Es que es lo fácil del inglés. Con saber eso, pues solo tenemos que abrir un poco y decimos, pues hay más. And normally, yeah, there is. So remember this sentence. I told the soldiers we need to soldier on. Y fijaos en la pronunciación, soldier. I'm not how does the song go? It's the Killers. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol is participating in our pop quiz. She says, I saw it coming from afar. Lo vi venir de lejos. Excellent. So, I saw it coming from afar. Perfect. Now, another way to say this is I saw it coming from a mile away. Nosotros usamos millas, ¿no? Pues más nativo que ese, imposible. Desde hace una milla, o sea, de lejos. I saw it coming from a mile away. The writing was on the wall. This is another expression that means estaba escrito, o sea, se vio venir. The writing was on the wall. Todo estaba destinado a que pasara eso. Okay? Estaba escrito, piénsalo en la pared. So same idea there. Great, Chris. Afar, it's a poetic word. Let me give you a totally native. All right. The next one, she says, the sales agent wanted me to sign. Careful, because we got to put it in infinitive then. She says, the sales agent wanted me to sign, sinede, on the dotted dos tes in dotted. So the sales agent wanted me to sign on the dotted line before reading painstakingly the term sheet. All right, painstakingly. If something is painstaking, it's a pain in the ass. You know, a pain in the ass. Un dolor en el culo. Excuse me, I just sneezed, so I lowered the microphone. I lowered the volume so you wouldn't hear me sneeze. Yeah, I'm trying to stop. I can't stop sneezing. And even though I've blown my nose, toma vocabulario, sonar los mocos, 1,000,000 times, and I've taken a hot shower, I don't know where it keeps coming from, but it keeps coming. It keeps coming and coming and coming back for more. So, all right, dotted line con dos tes, and to sign. Sales agent. All right, we'll take it. Sales agent. There are other ways to say it as well. Let's see what we've got here. Born to Iron Man says, you were walking around totally nude, and it was a cold day. So now you're ill. How did you know? Do you have a camera here in my house? You caught me. I love to walk around nude in my birthday suit. He says, so now you're ill. He says, I knew it was going to happen. So we were walking around. I knew it was going. Se vio venir. Okay, that's one way to say it. I saw it coming. I saw it coming from a mile away. The writing was on the wall. These are other ways to say it. All right, and the last one here. The hosts of Vaughn radio shows are the best reps in the company. Yep. You can say sales rep. So el departamento comercial is the sales department. So you can have a salesman, a saleswoman, a salesperson, o mi favorito, sales rep. Okay, un representante del equipo, a sales rep. All right, good job. And let's see. Born to Iron Man's last one. If you want to sign up for Vaughn courses, just sign on the dotted line. Do I smell a double trouble? Great job. Excellent job. Wow. Chris says, I trust you will get better quickly from this mild cold. Yeah, I think so. But again, that's the thing. We'll see what my daughter brings home from school today. Now, I can't think of a better way to strengthen, fortalecer, your immune system than getting sick. But the good news, I don't get sick too often. Considering, yeah. In fact, I usually get sick when I take vacation. I think because my body's like, oh, we're slowing things down a bit. Oh, and it's like a car crash. So, but I'll be fine, folks. As I said, the only thing that makes it really, because in a normal job where you're, okay, well, I've got a meeting, I just won't talk as much. But I don't have that luxury. Hey, every job has its ups and downs. So when you have a sore throat or you have a stuffy nose or you're stuffed up, otras formas de decirlo. Remember, we don't say constipated. I don't think I've ever been constipated in my life. Estreñido. Hey, I'm just being serious. Now that I think about it, I don't think the word constipation and me go in the same sentence. All right. I'm quite regular. Bueno, eso es como se diría el inverso, que vas con regularidad. So great job to sign on the dotted line. All right. Let me see if there's any other comments I wanted to make here. So I saw it coming. I saw it coming from a mile away. The writing was on the wall. Otra forma de decir esa primera. The next one, comercial, sales. Okay, departamento, sales department. As I said, you have several different ways to say that. And firma en la línea perforada o de puntos, sign on the dotted line. Y la que la gente se lía, signature es el sustantivo. So you can say, put your signature on the dotted line. Okay. You can also use the word initial as a verb. Initial every page at the bottom. Eso solo pon los iniciales. Now, does anybody know, I'll ask you guys, the totally American way to say necesito tu firma? And it's not signature. It's another way to say it. Again, this is totally American over here. But I've got to say, wonderful job to all our Show With No Namers participating. We've got a lot of stuff to do, so we should get rocking and rolling into today's news report.
This is the news report on the Show With No Name, bringing you the latest breaking news. I'm Alberto Alonso, reporting live.
Oh, wait, whoa. God, hey, not here. Stop. What's going on? Guys, we're in the middle of a radio show. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh, goodness. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Okay. Well, I guess this story has something to do with doing the deed. Bumping uglies. Different ways to say having sex. Let's see. Chris Valrol taking a stab at our totally American challenge. She said, I need your John Hancock. Excellent. John Hancock is one of the founding fathers and the one with the flashiest, most ostentatious signature. So that's why in the United States we say, I need your John Hancock, or I need your signature. All right, let's see what's going on in this news report over here, because it seems like it's a bit risque. No, not risky. Risky es arriesgado. Risqué. Que se escribe Q-U-E al final. Risqué. Subido de tono. Oh, yeah. All right, well, I call this story Dr. Anjum. Please report to ER quickly. Quickly. What? Please report, diríjese a ER, the emergency room, and I said quickie, when really it would be quickly. So what is quickie? You say the same thing, un kiki, a quickie. Yeah, that's right. Well, a doctor left a patient. This is incredible. You're not going to believe this. I even checked it because I couldn't believe it. A doctor left a patient on an operating table. Okay? Una mesa de cirugía. Under anesthetic. So the person was unconscious. And the doctor, well, where did the doctor go? Maybe he had to go to the bathroom? No. He had to go have sex with a nurse in another room. Duty calls. El deber llama. That's right. Dr. Suhail Anjum, a 44-year-old doctor, and an unnamed nurse were caught in a compromising position, so to speak. And it was a colleague who discovered them. It was at Tameside Hospital in Greater Manchester. Now, I can imagine that colleague's jaw dropped to the floor. So now, what happened was the incident happened a while back, but it came to light again recently because there's a hearing. A hearing is una audiencia. So it's not a trial, un juicio, but it's a hearing, right? Where they listen and they see if you're, and it happens like, you know, if you work in the legal industry as a lawyer, they can take away your license. So he had a hearing to see if he was fit, apto, to continue being a doctor. And he did not dispute the evidence against him. He said, guilty as charged. And then he went, no, I'm joking. But he didn't dispute it. He was caught red-handed, or should I say white-handed? Okay, all right. Red-handed, manos en la masa. But white-handed, okay, you get it. And he admitted as well, he said his behavior was shameful, vergonzoso. And the consultant, the anesthesiast, or anesthesiologist, you can also say, said that the doctor had mentioned that he needed a comfort break. That was the words he used. And he asked another nursing colleague to keep an eye on the patient while they were halfway through the procedure. So again, it's not, you want to have sex at work, don't get caught. But I wouldn't do it in the middle of an operation. You know, we got a lot of loose ends, cabos sueltos over there, you know? So yeah, he left the patient there. He told another nurse, I guess she wasn't as pretty, he said, hey, why don't you keep an eye on this guy? I'll be right back. I need to take a comfort break. I didn't know that was medical jargon, jerga médica. And what he did is, instead of taking that comfort break and going to the break room, he went into another operating theater. Los llaman teatros. I love it. You can say operating room as well. Quirófano. And he had sex with this woman referred to as Nurse C. C. So yeah, and another nurse, the colleague who caught them, walked in on the pair. To walk in on es interrumpir. And she said, and I quote, I was shocked and quickly walked through the theater to exit the doors. Yeah, vaya teatro. Now, Dr. Anjum was gone for about 8 minutes. He did go back into the operating room and complete the procedure. Oh, that's good news. I hope he washed his hands. But he was gone for 8 minutes. Oh, really? Killer. What a break. Well, I guess that's why they call it a quickie. And they said that no harm came to the patient, but that didn't have to end that way. There could have been some complications. So there was no further incident there. But, of course, the nurse who discovered them said, I've got to report you to the authorities, to our manager. This is, it's inappropriate and illegal. And according to company policy, ahí tienes la palabra policy otra vez. And he said, he left the patient in good hands, so he didn't have to worry. Yeah. And I wonder what was in his hands. But it's stupid behavior, especially because you're putting that patient at risk. They could have had a complication. Now, he said that he would never repeat it in his hearing, su audiencia. And he says it was a one-off error of judgment. A one-off es una vez que pasó tontamente. A one-off error of judgment. And he says, I only have myself to blame. He offers his sincere apologies to everyone involved, including the woman he was with, Nurse C, for only lasting 8 minutes. Yeah, no, I'm joking about that part. But he wants an opportunity to make amends. Amendar, corregir la cosa. And the best part was, I love it when people do this. They get caught doing something and then instantly they go from aggressor to victim. And he said, after this incident, I was going through a stressful time. It was a stressful time for my family. He says, my wife and I were failing to connect. I also had the premature birth of my daughter. So you decided it would be a good idea. That would fix it, right? Having sex with one of your colleagues while you were in the middle of a procedure. Guys, I thought I had heard it all. But now I know I've definitely heard it all. My God, this is definitely one of the craziest news reports we've ever seen here on the show. What? Oh, my God. Not now. Oh, goodness. I'm in the middle of a procedure here. It's called The Show with No Name. And in fact, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. We are halfway through the procedure. I'm going to go take a comfort break, guys. Keep an eye on the controls for me. All right, folks. You know how this works. We're going to take a quickie. I can't stop. We're going to take a quickie. También se puede hacer un quick break. And we'll be right back with much more. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of the show with no name, or the second half. Call it what you will. Just make sure you participate in all the different sections. I would say about half of the show, half of the sections require participation. The other half, well, you got jokes and things like that. I would say the better half, I would say maybe 60, 70% of the show requires your participation. We're going to kick things off with a participative section called Homophones. We're also going to listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time. Then we've got Wacky World Records, followed by our Spelling Bee. We've got Double Trouble. Name That Lyric. Name That Movie, Famous Birthdays, and so much more. And when this show is over, you've got English all day long on the Vaughn Radio app. If you don't have it, download it now. And this way you can learn English when you're on the throne. That's right, kings and queens. We say the same thing. The throne. Hey, what better place? No distractions. Just don't do it while you're doing a procedure, while you're operating on anyone. Well, I guess learning English while you operate on someone, don't do it. Might be a bit distracting. And I know we have some doctors who listen to us, so shout out to Dr. Paco and many of the other doctors who follow us. We've got people from every walk of life. De todas condiciones. It's true. People from every country, people from every profession, and that kicks ass. All right, let's rock and roll with today's Homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, it's Homophones only on the show with no name. Let's see what we've got for today's Homophones. All right, the first word is planeta. Planeta. All right, let's see if you guys know los planetas. I almost said it in English. Los, I think you say. See, why do you guys have to do that? You make, 50% chance of getting it wrong here with the L and the la nonsense. And then you complain about English. All right, so the planets. Let's see. Oh, did I just say it aloud? Los planetas. I'm going to say it in Spanish. All right, we have got, let's go in order. This way you practice them because I know you'll recognize them. O sea, al mirarlas dices, claro, es que mirarlas. But the pronunciation, it's like chaos and chaos. Same word or not? Not really, right? I mean, you wouldn't recognize it if you heard it. So some of those Latin-based words, especially those medical terms, speaking of medical, like when you say itis, for us, it's itis. When you say bio, it's bio, right? So recognizable, but difficult to pronounce. So let's see if you know the planets. The first one. Now, the way to know them in English, my very educated mother just swam under 9 planets. My, Mercury, very, Venus. Venus rhymes with that, yeah. Today's show is a bit risque, isn't it? So, in fact, you know the song, The Final Countdown? Of course you do. Well, every time I heard that song, I was waiting for them to rhyme something else with Venus. You know the part? We're heading to Venus to cut off our still we stand tall. I couldn't help it as a child. I was like, why didn't they rhyme penis with it? Because penis, Venus. All right, so focus, Alberto. Okay, my very Mercury, Mercurio, Mercury. La U is you, Mercury. Venus, Earth, my very educated mother, Mars, my very educated mother, just Jupiter, you say Jupiter, swam Saturn, under Uranus, sí, tu ano. Yeah, that's the joke, Uranus. Ahora, los británicos han tenido una solución. Dicen, we can't call it Uranus. That sounds like disgusting. So they changed it to Uranus. Urine, orina. Okay, sounds better, guys. Good job. Is there any nice way to say Uranus or Uranus? I say Uranus because no me quites el chiste. Come on. And you can find that joke in a classic movie, E.T. Hay una escena, they're studying the planets, and he says, Uranus, something like that. And believe me, you can't have a class, especially when you're in grade school, okay, when you're in primaria, where the teacher says, today Uranus was discovered, without the class, cracking up, rolling on the floor. And then the teacher says, oh, real mature, guys, muy maduros. So let's see, where were we? So we said Uranus. My very educated mother just swam under Uranus, under 9 planets. Neptuno, that one's easy. And Pluto, which has been declassified. Pluto, okay? You say Plutón, I believe, in Spanish. So those are the planets, I just gave you the word again, in the Milky Way. So let me ask you this. Is the word planeta, which I just said 10 times because I got a big fucking mouth, does that word sound like planifícalo? Okay. Okay, vamos a decirlo así. Planifica tu cumpleaños en el planeta pizza, que es de Toy Story, right? So would those two words sound the same? Planeta y planifícalo. Now, I will say something. Be careful with this, because I've heard students say planify, planificate. No, just plan. O sea, no te compliques. P-L-A-N. All right? So, if I say planifícalo, o sea, el verbo más el eso, ¿suena igual que planeta en inglés? We'll find out in just a moment. Let me give you the Say What soundbite as well. Here it is for the third time.
I want to be a force for good. I want to be a force for real good. In other words, I know that there are bad forces. I know that there are forces out here that bring suffering to others and misery to the world. But I want to be the opposite.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is Vaughntown. If you have never experienced Vaughntown, you are missing out. I mean, at Vaughntown, you'll learn English, you'll make friends, and who knows? Ya que tengo el efecto. Hey, I've heard stories. Just saying. Hey, that's up to you're two consenting adults. We don't want to know anything. But I couldn't think of a better way to really learn the language. Okay. All right. Maybe I'm delirious today. I'm getting really risque over here. Yeah, maybe I'm not taking any. I didn't take any medicine, so I shouldn't be under the influence of anything. But you know what it is? Maybe too when you don't feel well, you just don't give a flying fuck, right? So you just get it done however you can. But I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and I hope it's not too distracting hearing me sniffle and all that crap. All right, so let's see what we've got here in our chat room. We've got Chris saying reality surpasses fiction. We also say reality is stranger than fiction, más raro que la ficción, which is frase hecha. Absolutely, Chris. I mean, if you told, like I said, I had to check the story to make sure it was true. I wanted to check a couple different sources because I was like, really? Like he literally stopped doing the operation and went and had a quickie? Like, wow, this guy's got a pair of balls. Vaya cojones que tiene el tío también, you know? So let's see. German says, morning, guys. What's up, German? How's it hanging? He says, it's strange how Chris wrote John Hancock. Excuse me. I knew it was coming and I couldn't stop it. Excuse me a second. Let me just regain my breath over here. Sorry, guys. Again, you know, I can't help it. No lo puedo evitar. My eyes are tearing up and I'm sneezing over here today. All right, let's see. So German says, it's strange how Chris wrote Hancock while Double A played a hanky-panky audio. Well, you know, things are often planned around here. They are linked in some way. There is a common thread. So maybe Chris and I plan that, German. And by the way, hanky-panky... Hanky-panky is another way of saying sex stuff. A ver cómo lo traducen. Hanky-panky, it's a song too. Do the hanky-panky. Dunga, dunga. Really, cuchi, cuchi in Mexico. Ñaca, ñaca. Bueno, tiene que hacer el hanky-panky. Pues ahí lo tienes. Great word, German, and welcome aboard. German says, I'd say and are homophones. Born to Iron Man agrees, and so does Chris. Wow. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to have a birthday party at Pizza Planet. I will plan it tomorrow. Okay. Again, I wish. Ojalá. That sounded like fun as I said it. I'm going to have my birthday party at Pizza Planet. Will you help me plan it? Do they sound the same? Absolutely. And just remember, that second word is not planificate ni planify, it's planet. And muchas veces se usa en pasado también. So how would we say lo planifiqué? I planned it. La D se une con el it. Vamos a decirlo en voz alta. Yo te pregunto, did you plan it? Did you? I don't say did you. Did you? Did you plan it? Yeah, Alberto, I planned it. Planned it. Y eso es como se pronuncia de verdad. Not planned, espacio, pausa, it. Sino la D se une con el it. Did you plan it? Yes, I planned it. And it's going to happen at Pizza Planet. Oh, man, that's a great idea. And I think there is a Pizza Planet at one of the Disney parks, if I'm not mistaken. So if I can, I will plan it at Pizza Planet. And there's Born to Iron Man. He says, Gesundheit. Thank you so much. When someone sneezes, you can use the German word, Gesundheit, or you can also say bless you or God bless you as well. So thank you very much. What we don't say is Jesus. In Spanish, you say Jesús. We don't say Jesus, but yeah, si lo piensas, God bless you, parecido, ¿no? Que Dios te bendiga. All right, well, we have to move on, but excellent job in our homophones. Right now, it's time for Wacky World Records.
Wacky World Records. These are the wackiest records in the whole wide world.
All right, all right. Down, kitty, down, down. Come on, get off me. You're shedding hair all over me. To shed is cuando pierden pelo. Also, a snake sheds its skin. All right. Just remember, too, if you write the word meow in English, ¿cómo se escribe meow in English? It's not M-E-A-U. Yeah, in fact, it was funny because I remember when I lived in the center of Madrid, there was a bar and it was called Meow. But of course, I had never seen it written in Spanish. Sabía que decíais meow. Pero claro, yo estaba esperando cómo se escribía en inglés, que es M-E-O-W, meow, meow, como si fuera dos partes, right? Meow. But I remember seeing it and I said to my friend, I go, what bar are you at? And he goes, estoy en el meow. I'm like, oh, me. And I put two and two together. No, and dijo, mia, aha. You know, I passed that bar. I think it was in Plaza Santa Ana over 100 times. And I never realized that because I read it. I'm like, mia, hua. You know, I thought it was some weird, like, you know, Polynesian name. And in the end, the name of the place was Meow. But since I hadn't seen it spelt, the same thing with Once. I told you, every time I used to see those booths from La Once, la Asociación de Ciegos, what did I always say? Once. For me, it was once. That's the way it worked. So, all right, let's see what we've got in today's wacky world record. Now, it obviously has something to do with cats, right? All right, well, this guy, Bao Z, is a cat, an American short hair cat, okay? Bao Z. And he belongs to, his owner is a Chinese man named Li Hiangtao. And so what happened here? Bao Z, the cat, broke the record and he showed off his shredding skills. To shred is like ride on a skateboard. So he showed off his shredding skills by breaking the record. Now, there's actually a record for the fastest 10 meters on a skateboard by a cat. Yeah, you heard correctly. So, los 10 metros más rápidos en monopatín hechos por un gato. And Bao Z is the record holder. This cat skateboarded the 10 meters in how long? How long? Let's see. How long do you think it took a cat to go 10 meters on a skateboard without falling, obviously? 12.85 seconds. O sea, un poco menos de 13 segundos. And he beat the previous record. Now, Lee, the owner, he's a professional dog trainer. So, the guy works with animals already. And he originally brought home Bao Z, the cat, to help him deal with the rodents, roedores, rats, mice. If you want to get rid of rodents, there's nothing better than a cat. We all know that. So he brought them to his farm where he was training the dogs. And he started noticing that this feline, this kitty, was watching intently when he was teaching the dogs how to skate. And the cat was paying attention and taking notes. And he goes, wow, this guy's really into it. So he decided, well, I'm going to see if I can teach Bao Z to do his own tricks. And, well, they got to work, and Bao Z adapted to his style and eventually broke the record. It reminds me of the idiomatic expression, and that expression is, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. No sé si hay un equivalente en español, pero creo que tiene bastante sentido. ¿No? Cuando alguien ya es viejo, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Como yo no voy a aprender nada más de los, it's como, think about like your parents with social media. You can tell them 100 times, don't share every little thing. Don't, comment on every single, but they don't get it. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you can teach a new cat, Bao Z, how to skateboard 10 meters in under 13 seconds. So that is today's wacky world record. It's time for our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, amigos. It is our spelling bee. As you know, round one is not for the faint of heart. No es apto para cardíacos. The first round, I am going to fly through these words. We'll see if you can keep up. Seguir el ritmo. Are you ready? The first one is URBAIN space LE space VERRIER. The second one is JOHN space COUCH space ADAMS. The third one, JOHANN space GOTTFRIED space GALLE. The next one is BERLIN space OBSERVATORY. The fifth one, FOURTH-LARGEST space PLANET. And the last one is NEPTUNE. What do you think, folks? Anybody? Going once. These are tough ones. They're long words today. They're names. We'll see if somebody was able to get them on the first go. If not, no sweat. You're going to get a second chance where I will slow down considerably. Anyone? I took a second there to take a sip of water. All right. Going once. Going twice. All right, folks. Here we go. This is round two. The first one is URBAIN space LE space VERRIER. The second one is JOHN space COUCH space ADAMS. The third one is JOHANN space GOTTFRIED space GALLE. The fourth one is BERLIN space OBSERVATORY. And the fifth one is FOURTH-LARGEST space PLANET. And the last one is NEPTUNE. All right, I think that was fair enough, that second round. So obviously it's got something to do with space, right? If I was playing those space sound effects. And we did look at the word planet before, so maybe that was a clue. All right. I am checking the comments over here. Now there's two options that I'm kind of thinking here that are going on. A, it was extremely difficult today. Or B, we are being censored once again by Nazi Germany. I mean, YouTube. Sorry, I meant YouTube. By the Stasi. I mean, YouTube. Sorry, I always get confused. Same vibes. All right. Well, folks, either way, we have got to take a quick commercial break. I can't believe it. We're getting through it. I'm getting through it. You guys, I think you'll get through it easier than me today. But thank you for your energy, your drive, tu motivación. Makes it a lot easier, even though I'm feeling under the weather. All right, we'll see if anybody gets today's spelling bee. When we come back, we've got a triple trouble. Is it triple? Yes. Triple trouble. We'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. Tough one, but we'll take a look at the answer in a little bit. We'll look at our spelling bee words. We've got movies, jokes, and so much more. So stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with No Name. Don't forget to stay tuned because you've got more exciting English classes all afternoon long here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to check out vaughntienda.com if what you're looking for is materials for self-study. You've also got classes, courses, masters, Vaughan Town. You can prepare your Oxford test of English. And if you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, stop by. Pásate. We'd love to meet you in person. Now, I have met many of you in person, but you can talk to one of our reps, representantes. We looked at that word in our pop quiz today, reps, sales reps. You know what reps are at the gym? Well, reps at the gym are repeticiones. Reps. You do a lot of reps on your abs and your glutes. Es que somos vagos. Abs, abdominals, glutes, your gluteoid, or como se llaman, gluteus maximus. I loved him in The Gladiator. He was great. My name is Gluteus Maximus. All right, my amigos, so much to do. So let's get right back into the swing of things with today's triple trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, folks, here it is. It is today's triple trouble. That's right. Going to make you sweat a little bit. But the good news, I think you guys should do okay, honestly, because we've looked at this before And one of the meanings is the same exact word in Spanish, because you don't have a different word, because it's a type of music that comes from the United States, from New Orleans. That's right. New Orleans is where this music was born. So, él compró un póster de jazz. Dos palabras anglosajonas, póster y jazz. Come on, guys. I thought you said Spanish was rich. So, él compró un póster de jazz y todo lo demás, porque quería darle vidilla o darle un toque a la habitación. Again, it's a triple trouble. You've got to use the same word 3 times. All right. Él compró un póster de jazz, la música jazz, y todo lo demás, porque quería darle vidilla, darle un toque a la habitación. That is your triple trouble. You've got to use the same word 3 times. Good luck. Let's see today's spelling bee. We've got a few people participating. Chris says, I touched something and the spelling bee was erased. It was deleted, but I was missing a couple of letters. Well, don't worry. Again, the idea is to try your best. So excellent. Let's see. Born to Iron Man. It looks like Born to Iron Man. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he got it. All right, let me also give you today's Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you for the 4th and final time. Do your best. Haz lo mejor que puedas. It's a tough one.
I want to be a force for good. I want to be a force for real good. In other words, I know that there are bad forces. I know that there are forces out here that bring suffering to others and misery to the world. But I want to be the opposite.
Alberto, viene Tom Cruise al hormiguero y tengo que decirle una cosa. Tengo que decirle, vamos al lío. ¿Cómo se lo digo?
Vamos al lío, tío. Eso es facilísimo. Piensa en la canción de DJ Tiesto. Let's get down to business. Give me one more time
together.
Let's get down
to business. Let's get down to business. Ah, lo sabía, pero no sabía que lo sabía. Aprende inglés con canciones, películas, videojuegos, series, personajes, onomatopeyas. Todas las cosas que te rodean están en inglés, pero no te das cuenta de que ya las tienes en la cabeza. Solamente hay que colocarlas. Y para eso, utiliza nuestro tercer libro, This Book is the Shit, por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
Oh, yeah. That's right, amigos. That's right. All right, let's take a look over here. We've got Germán taking a stab at today's triple trouble. Let's see how he did. The first part, he bought a jazz poster. Easy. And all that jazz, because he wanted to jazz the room up. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Germán. Excellent job, dude. Wonderful. So he bought a jazz poster. A jazz, eso es fácil esta parte. And all that jazz, y todo lo demás. And all that jazz, right? Because he wanted to jazz the room up. Excellent job, Germán. Let's see. K Roller Girl says he bought a poster of jazz, or a jazz poster, because he wanted to jazz up the bedroom with a touch of jazz. The only one we're missing there is and all that jazz. Y todo lo demás. Well, the first week of school, we had to get the books and sign her up for the extracurricular activities and all that jazz. Y todo el resto, todo lo demás que conlleva. So, excellent. Chris says he bought a jazz poster and all that jazz because he wanted to jazz up, te falta, perdona, to jazz up the room. So all that jazz y todo lo demás. It's a great song too. And all that jazz. Is it from Chicago? Maybe. I think it's from the musical Chicago. And Born to Iron Man. Wow, excellent job, folks. So the first one, easy, jazz music. all that jazz y todo lo demás, todo el resto que viene con eso, and to jazz up the room. Or you can say to spice it up too. En ambos casos, le estás dando un toque, un poco de vidilla. I like how you say it in Spanish. We're giving it a little life. Un poco de vidilla. All right, let's look at our spelling bee words. Again, wonderful job, Born to Iron Man. Today, in the year 1846, astronomers Urbain Le Verrier, pardon my French pronunciation, but that was number one, Urbain Le Verrier. Number two was John Couch Adams. Number three, Johann Gottfried Galle. Those were three people who got together, three astronomers, as I said, and they collaborated on the discovery of Neptune. So that's why we were talking about planets before. It was first observed at the Berlin Observatory. Okay, that's number four. Number five, the fourth largest planet. The fourth largest planet, which Neptune is. And number six was Neptune. So see why we reviewed the planets before? Believe me, guys, it looks like it isn't, but sometimes I plan it. Okay, I'll stop. Chris says, indeed, all that jazz is from Chicago. Pues ahí lo tienes. And all that jazz. And yeah, well, if you know that song, then you'll never forget. Y todo eso, todo lo demás. And all that jazz. And speaking of movies, we're going to take a look at today's Name That Movie. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, and this is a classic. Now, you're going to hate me, or you're going to think that I've lived under a rock for the last 30, 40 years because I've never seen this movie. But I know how popular it is. It's a movie that came out in 1990, and we'll see if you recognize it based on the premise, the plot. All right? A corporate raider. And what is a raider? Well, we know it from Tomb Raider, que no es Raider. It's Raider. We also know it from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Dun, 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 dun. So a raider, invasor, atacante, ladrón, saqueador. Dun, 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 dun. Raider, that one's called La Arca Perdida. We call it Raiders of the Lost Ark. All right. And please don't call Tomb Raider Tom Rider. Tomb, como vosotros, tumba, tomb, same sound. Raider, not rider. Rider's alguien que monta. It can be a motorcycle rider, a snowboarder, right? So raider. A corporate, y no es corporate, sino corporate. Nos comemos hasta la segunda O. It's not corporate, it's corporate. A corporate raider hires, contrata, a hooker to act as a business escort in Beverly Hills, California. All right, a hooker, a lady of the night. And she's pretty. Bastante guapa. You like the double trouble? She's pretty. Well, I'm giving you a clue. Huge clue here. A corporate raider hires a hooker to act as a business escort in Beverly Hills, California. Now, do you know what we call someone who frequents these ladies of the night, these brothels, prostíbulos? Well, we call that person a John, un John. Right? Or a trick. Hey, we looked at the word trick before. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, what hookers do, or prostitutes, they turn tricks. Okay, so the trick or the John is a way of saying the person who frequents them. Okay. All right, we've got a winner over here, and she is our movie queen for a reason. Please give it up for Chris Valrol. Mercy. Is she walking back to me? Oh, pretty woman, walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I like to meet. Yes, I've never seen this movie in my life. It's not my cup of tea, you know. All right, let's take a look at the scene from the movie. And Vivian is on the balcony, en el balcón. And she says, wow, great view. Vaya vista. Great view. I bet you can see all the way to the ocean from out here. Seguro que ves hasta el mar desde aquí. And Edward says, I'll take your word for it. Te tomo la palabra. I'll take your word for it. I don't go out there. Okay? Yo no salgo en el balcón. And Vivian is in shock. She's like, why don't you go out there? Like, if I had this balcony, I'd be out there every day. You know, why don't you go out there? And Edward says, I'm afraid of heights. You say vértigo. We say, you can say I suffer from, padezco de, right? But also you can say I'm afraid of lo que sea. I'm afraid of snakes. I'm afraid of tal. So I'm afraid of heights, sitios altos, alturas. And Vivian says, you are? So how come, it's another way of saying why, how come you rented a penthouse? ¿Por qué alquilaste un ático? Right? The penthouse is the top floor, okay? It's also a dirty magazine that when I was a kid, it was, oh God. Really? Are we back? Oh God. Yeah, penthouse. Okay. God. Sorry, guys. I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm trying not to play the sound effect there. But it was appropriate there. Penthouse magazine. I'm sure many of you have heard. I used to read it for the articles, just like Playboy. Then Edward says, it's the best. Es lo mejor. I looked all around. Busqué por todas partes for penthouses on the first floor, but I can't find one. So he's being a smartass. Listillo. Estoy buscando áticos a tope en la primera planta, pero no las encuentro. You can't have a penthouse on the first floor. It's not called a penthouse then. So there you go, folks. The movie is Pretty Woman, and this movie is, and definitely was, very, or I should say, pretty popular. All right, let's move on because it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking here on the show with no name. Let's see. Chris says, well, I like this movie. Julia was charming. Well, no, Chris, I'm saying everybody did. So everybody I know who saw this movie loved it. I'm the only one who hasn't seen it. So I can't really give you my opinion on it. But yeah, most people that I've talked to are in that category. I love this movie. It's a cult classic, you know. It came out in 1990. And just to give you an idea, it still has 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. So it's a good movie. Okay? People like it. It has aged well, como decimos, unlike my jokes that don't age well. Well, as always, I want to see if you get these jokes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my corny jokes. Okay, how do you serve Martians tea? Okay, ¿cómo sirves té a los marcianos? Okay, Martian, Martian se escribe, pero suena como SH. So how do you serve Martians tea? Easy. On a flying saucer. You get it? A flying saucer? Well, what is a saucer? A saucer es un platillo. Normally, you put it under your tea, right? You have your teacup, and then you've got a saucer under it so you don't spill, or you can keep your little chocolates, your little crumpets, right? So it's a small plate for a cup, right? Saucer, platillo. But I'm sure you know it because it's the same word, platillo volante, a flying saucer. So guess what? I think that joke even works in Spanish. ¿Cómo le sirves té a un marciano en un platito volante? ¿Platito o platillo, you say? Let's see. A ver, me suena que es platillo. Yeah, platillo volante. Well, in English, it's a flying saucer. And yes, it has that same double meaning. All right, let's take a look at our next one to see if you get it. How do meteors stay clean? How do meteors, meteoritos, how do they stay clean? Well, they shower. No. A meteor shower? No. Do you know what this is? So a meteor shower, I think you say lluvia. Lluvia. We say ducha. But also remember, we use the word showers to talk about rain all the time. We get heavy showers in the New York area. Yo diría más que heavy rain. So, acuérdate que showers en Estados Unidos, no sé tanto en británico, es lluvia. We got heavy showers, light showers in the New York area. No se habla de rain. Por alguno. Yo sé que te enseñan rain, but no, for some reason we say showers. So, you get it? Una ducha barra lluvia de meteoritos. How do meteors stay clean? They shower. All right. And what do you call a parasite on the moon? What do you call a parasite on the moon? A lunatic. A lunatic. A tick is garrapata. A tick. A lunatic. Lunatico. Lunatic. A lunatic. Okay. All right. You're lucky. It's time to move on to famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, amigos, let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. Now, you know you've already gotten some clues along the way. Our first actor was born in 1959. He played George Costanza on Seinfeld. That was his claim to fame, but also he's been on so many other shows. He's been in musicals where he's won awards as a theater actor and also as a film actor. So this guy is very, very popular and very talented. And you might have seen him in Pretty Woman. Hey, wait a second. He was also in Coneheads, Shallow Hal, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, where he played Hugo. He was in Duckman and many, many others. But if you don't know him as George Costanza, then you probably won't know who he is, because everybody discovered him there. Number two, this guy was a blind singer. That's right. And he's not Effectivi Wonder. Oh, so another one. Yeah. He was the one that sang Georgia on My Mind. You know, Georgia on My Mind. Also, America the Beautiful. I'm talking about America. God shed his great holy. Yeah, him. The other blind. There's two really famous blind guys in the music industry that I know of. He's the other one. So, and last but not least, this guy is also from the music industry, but he wasn't blind, thankfully. He was an American jazz saxophonist, band leader, and composer. This guy, you can't talk about jazz without talking about this guy, because he is among the most influential and acclaimed figures in the whole history of jazz music. So maybe jazz wouldn't be as popular as it was or as it is to this day if it weren't for this guy. And I can listen to his music for hours and hours on end. All right, does anybody know it? Going once, going twice. If not, we've got to move, folks, because time is of the essence. Number one, Jason Alexander. Number 2, Ray Charles. And number 3, John Coltrane. If you've never heard John Coltrane, you've got some homework today. All right, and that's going to bring us over to our Say What soundbite. This is John Coltrane, the jazz master, and he's talking about his mark that he leaves, no? Su huella que deja. And he says, I want to be a force for good. Quiero ser una fuerza que promueve el bien. I want to be a force for real good, he says. De verdad. In other words, en otras palabras, I know that there are bad forces. Sé que hay fuerzas malas. I know that there are forces out here that bring suffering to others. Hay fuerzas en este mundo que hacen sufrir a los demás. And misery to the world. Y miseria a todo el mundo. But I want to be the opposite. So if you didn't like John Coltrane, well, now you do, just because of his philosophy. Here he is, birthday boy, jazz legend, John Coltrane.
I want to be a force for good. You know, I want to be a force for real good. In other words, I know that there are bad forces. You know, I know that there are forces out here that bring suffering to others and misery to the world. But I want to be the opposite.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
All right, excellent job, my amigos. Wonderful job, as always. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with me, por tu paciencia, because I'm a little under the weather. I'm going to rest later after my classes and after I'm done working, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow stronger. But right now, I'm going to hit the road, Jack. That's right. Hit the road. Largarme. I'm going to hit the road. And who better to give us a hand than birthday boy Ray Charles? I think you know the lyrics, so sing it with me. Boom, 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 boom. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back.